What's happening? This time I have a HobbyKing Corsair. This is a fairly small little park flyer warbird that HobbyKing is offering. It's a 800mm wingspan. It's about a 31.5-inch wingspan for you non-metric folk. The Corsair is actually pretty famous warbird. It's very easy to recognize by its gull wings, and this little model is actually a really good representation. It's very scale looking. The colors are pretty scale. Everything looks pretty real about it, down to the three-bladed prop in the nose. That actually presents a little bit of an issue, but we'll go over that in a little bit. So first off, overall impressions. The foam is very dense. I nailed this thing into the ground a few times just due to ofishism. Otherwise known as really bad controlling, and it just bounces. I mean, it's like a basketball. The thing's ridiculous. It's really stout. It's got really heavy-duty wings, a heavy-duty fuselage, and it's a little bit heavy because of that. But this thing's not made to go slow. It's not a floater. It's nothing to glide with. But so let me go over the setup real quick. You can see from the beginning of this video, it starts with me flying it on a 2-cell. I was flying on a 1,000 milliamp 2-cell battery. The weight of that battery was pretty appropriate. You still have to put about a 1/4 ounce of weight into the nose to get proper CG. Keep in mind with these warbirds and stuff, you want to make sure your CG is proper. Otherwise you're going to have all sorts of weird issues when you're trying to corner. But this thing is set up as a aileron and elevator only, so there is no rudder. Now the best part about it is it was obviously designed with a rudder in mind, so you can install a rudder on this fairly easily, so much so as you would just cut the rudder out, not even completely out, you just cut the top of it. That'll allow the EPO to act as the hinge, and it even comes with a push rod and clevises to mount to your servo that you install. So any regular 5 or 9 gram servo slips right into an open slot. You pull a little block of foam out next to the elevator servo, the new one slips right in, and you put your arm on it and connect the push rod, and you've got a rudder attachment. So it comes with everything you need except for a servo. I did not actually opt to do that. I wanted to fly this fairly stock right off the bat, and the only downside to not having the rudder, you don't really notice it too much in flight. You shouldn't be using rudder all that much, especially on a warbird where you're pretty much just going ballistic the whole time. But the thing that I didn't really like is the fact that I couldn't taxi very efficiently. You're kind of just dedicated to a straight line. So you know, rudder option might be a good way to go, and I may make a video with that. But let's go over some power stats and what I got. 2-cell setup was more than adequate. It didn't have like unlimited vertical, but a 2-cell setup with the stock tri-bladed prop was really fun, and it was fine. It was absolutely efficient. It pulled about 112 watts on the standard 2-cell 3-bladed prop. Now I wanted to make a video that people could view this, have the product or buy the product, and be able to work on and upgrade and also find replacement parts. So that 3-bladed prop, I don't even know what it is. It's probably custom made for this model. It doesn't show. It looked like it was around a 7x7 or some odd size like that. Quite a bit of pitch to it. But I want to be able to put a normal prop on this without having to go order a typical 3-bladed prop that's designed for this. So what I did was I did a bunch of testing and found what had similar amp draw to the 3-bladed prop that came with it. So if you're going to stick with a 2-cell setup and you don't want to run your 3-bladed prop, or you broke your 3-bladed prop, pick up a GWS 8x6. That's going to keep you right in the same realm. Now if you want to go completely nuts and put a 3-cell setup in, like you see here, where you get unlimited vertical, the best prop would be an inch down, which is a 7x6. So the Electric Fly 7x6 GWS prop worked just fine. Now you might be able to see I kept the little nose cap on that has threads on it. So all you need is the GWS prop and a single one of those, I believe they're 4mm nuts that go on. You thread that nut all the way to the base, put your prop on, and then tighten that cap down to keep your prop on. That setup actually got me some really good numbers. The speed control that comes in this plane is a 20 amp, not a 10 like they say. It's a 20 amp speed control, so you could push it pretty hard. So I got about 18.5, almost 19 amps on a static draw with the 7x6 prop on a 3-cell setup. That's getting close to what that speed control can do. There's normally a slight, a burst rating that can go up a tiny bit higher, but it's within safety margin. Generally I like to play it a little more safe than that, but I don't think this one will have too much trouble with it. So if you want to make this thing go really fast and have a lot of fun with it, put a GWS 7x6 prop on it, or even an APC, really whatever style you'd like. The only downside to the GWS is it's flexible, so you get a little bit of like a hum on the really high stress. You don't really hear it in the air, but on the ground, when there's a lot more stress on it, you get a little bit of a hum, just vibration from the flexibility. It's not really any problem, but if you wanted to get rid of that, you could go to a stiffer 7x6. Be careful. It'd be best if you're going to alter it to have some kind of an amp meter or a watt meter to verify that you're not pushing past your ESC's limitations. So that's as technical as I want to get on this as far as prop sizing goes. But again, 7x6 prop, standard 2-bladed prop, easy to get. They come in packs of 4 or 5, I believe, and they're real cheap. So that's an awesome way to do it, especially if you don't have a place to land with especially if you don't have a place to land that's concrete. If you have to ditch the thing in the weeds and stuff, just pop those landing gear off and ditch it in the weeds, and you don't have that third blade to break on you every time. So overall, really fun. Be careful of this plane because it's very sensitive to control input. I know I almost always say in my reviews to extend the surfaces as much as they can go with your servo movement, such as taking your push rods and putting them to the end of the servo arms and putting them to the inside of the servo horns. I actually don't recommend that with this. It comes stock as a pretty tame setup, and I'd recommend keeping it that way because it's so fast that all of a sudden it becomes insanely flicky and you can't actually control. So feel your way through it, but you'll see this is actually a little mess up on my part. But either way, I hope you enjoyed the review, and you guys have a great day. Feel free to thumbs up, comment, and do as you please. Take care, guys. Going down. Going down.
Going down. Going down.